Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I'll show you where the hammer hangs. So, second verse, same as the first.
Destroy the good!
Payday.
Give your orders. Showed him. Showed him. Is unstoppable! These things are pretty fragile, aren't they? Grimly, I think I accidentally broke both your hammers. I'm so sorry.
I'll strangle you in the bare hands, Gil! You gods damn disgusting!
In order to make sure we don't have to cut out all of Grimly's cursing, I'll just take over here. The brilliant evil had succeeded. The second dwarven hammer was also history, and its army marched inexorably towards the dwarven town of Steelsmith. Something else permeated the smell of metalworking that wafted from the city towards the dungeon. The smell of the dwarves' fear.
For good reason, too. We're going to tear their city apart. We could still return to the side of good. Let me think about it for a second. No.
Hey, Talia, I have a surprise for you. You know that all good things come in threes?
Honestly, do you have another one of those damn death hammers?
A death hammer? Ha! I have 3 death hammers!
What? The whole thing times 3? Not very imaginative, if you ask me. You are so...
Stop! Hammer time!
Together, the 3 death hammers had a lot more power than a single one. It would certainly be better for the dungeon heart if they too were quickly put out of action.
I am even more powerful! Showed him. You desire?
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
So, that's the way you want it. I'll take care of you myself. For death and glory, the horn of Grimly Hammerhand shall sound in the deep one last time. Men, let this be the hour when we draw swords together. Now for wrath, now for ruin, and the Red Dawn!
Finally, you meet Grimly. Your final hour has come. Destroy this land.
It's payday.
You paid for this, you damn brat!
With these words, Grimly the Dwarven King breathed his last.
A well-earned victory for evil! Ha! All the legends and stories that revolve around good heroes. Utter nonsense. In the end, evil will always triumph. Time to enjoy my victory.
Talia, what have you done? You killed Grimly. I will have to punish you for this. Stay where you are. I'll be there in a couple of hours.
Apparently, Tanos was anything but enthusiastic about his foster daughter's deeds. The insightful evil knew that a confrontation was not yet advisable and ordered Talia to travel west, always west.
We could always wait for Father and try to explain everything to him. Oh, come on. Even my good side can't be that naive. He'll skin me alive if he gets his hands on me. There's no way I should get anywhere near him until his anger has cooled. Oh, unfortunately, I'm afraid I have to agree with my evil me. We should let the grass grow over the whole thing first.
Oh, good and evil in agreement. A rare stroke of luck, I'd say. So it was time to run. Here, the only problem was, as usual, his own death. After the Dwarven King Grimly suffered a premature death at the hands of the hero-beating evil's armies, the dark elf Talia got herself out of dodge. She took the evil creatures and retreated into the tunnels and mines of Steelsmith, which were connected to the most remote places in the world. The hasty departure proved to be very wise indeed, for shortly afterwards, Tanos appeared on the scene, and with him, a mighty army of good. When he found his dwarven friend's lifeless body, he screamed his pent-up anger out into the world, as overly emotional heroes are often prone to do. A few hours later, Tanos gathered with his 2 remaining comrades and commanders in his tent. We will now repeat approximately what was said. I, the evil will destroy us. We are lost. Wail, wail, and so on. In the end, Tanos called his fellow soldiers to order and commanded them to return to their respective empires and strengthen their defenses. So it was time to do what all good folks do: hide themselves behind thick walls in fear and hope that the storm would pass them by and hit the others. How exceedingly honorable. In the meantime, Tanos sent out some spies to track down his evil student. The Dark Elf had, by then, beaten her way through the mines of Steelsmith, accidentally awakened an army, and fled from a whip-swinging demon. The usual stuff that happens when traveling through dwarven tunnels. At least they had left Tanos and the armies of good far behind them, and now moved almost unmolested through the countryside, determined to continue spreading chaos and horror. The end of Burger's End. After Grimley's inglorious end, the insidious evil's army had gone through the mines of Steelsmith to escape Tanos' armies and his wrath. The old shafts brought them close to the busy town of Burger's End. Talia and the all-devouring evil's army had left the mines of Steelsmith behind them, far from Tanos and his henchmen. The tunnels brought them close to the city Burger's End, in the Empire's hinterlands. Burger's End was known for its voracious heroes. More specifically, their appetites were wait for it, dairy. They ate so much that the city had to be supplied with food from the surrounding area on a daily basis. True story.
These gluttons are going to be easy. Onwards, creatures of the deviant evil! Give these gourmands their just desserts!
This hasty attack wasn't the best idea, as the what is cannon fodder for evil's creatures all too quickly found out. These well-fed warriors proved to be exceedingly powerful and dismembered the advancing horde with terrifying speed.
That could have gone better.
Naturally, a battle like that can work up an appetite. Luckily, a transport full of food showed up shortly after the clash. The wheels quickly turned in the deceitful evil's evil brain. What if those deliverers were to have an accident on their way to the city, and the city suddenly ran out of food? It giggled a treacherous little giggle. Those wood piles could be used as a roadblock if they were put into motion with a few hefty blows. That would make transporting that food even more difficult.
Okay, then we'll starve the pigs out. A brilliant plan. Do we have to do this? I feel so bad about killing Grimley. Oh, I'm surprised. I thought that evil act would finally extinguish the good part of me. I guess I'll just have to put up with you for a while longer.
These schizophrenic monologues are really annoying. They prevent me from saying so much more.
Not the worst thing when I look at the reviews of the last game.
What? How dare you? Talk about cheeky. You haven't heard the last of this.